Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of Spotlight on Strategy series, Breakthrough Tactics to Thrive in Business and Life. Tonight, we're talking about resiliency, both as an organization and you as a leader, striving to bring your strategic vision to life. I am Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO and founder of Global Innovation Strategies, and with a 30-plus year consulting and coaching career serving across commercial, government, nonprofit, and community groups, you're sure to hear an idea tonight about resiliency and how that applies to your strategic vision and your organization operationally that could help you move forward faster. Tonight, the focus again is on resiliency, and that really helps us turn uncertainty into opportunities. You'll see that there's both a strategy perspective and an advantage perspective. And so what we want to examine when we're looking at it from our strategic framework standpoint is understanding our organization and any constraints we may have that limit capacity that would heighten low value items into something that's critical for us to have to fight a fire on. We want to look and remove anything that lessens value, any place where we're not addressing and harnessing the risks and lesson learned, where we have underperforming market share, where we have less than stellar momentum, and where our reliability may be less than our targets. So if we look at the flip side and look at how we turn that into an opportunity, we're going to be examining our organization through the data and intelligence that we're collecting and the analysis that we're doing based on our particular strategic vision and our mission and our goals to understand how we can enable or heighten or better utilize existing capacity so that we don't have to purchase or create extensively more expensive iterations of capacity. We want to understand so that we have a nice portfolio of prioritization of products and or services and or initiatives so that we move from a place of fighting fires into proactive management across those portfolios. So criticality becomes something we normalize and standardize over time. We want to examine our portfolio of product and service and initiatives offering, again, externally as well as internally for where we can derive the most value. And then we want to make sure that we're harnessing the intelligence around the risks that are actualized and any other lessons learned that we're capturing so that we don't have to repeat the same issues operationally, which causes our reliability to lessen and our resiliency to be lower. Then we want to look at how through operational implementation and strategic implementation of resiliency factors, we can increase market share, heighten our momentum, and increase our reliability, right? So it's really about a people, process, technological examination of our organizations where we can move from a place of uncertainty and then take advantage of that and turn it into an opportunity for exponential growth. So when we think of resiliency, we want to design this in. So if we think of a technology as being resilient, we're going to be looking at high availability. We're going to be looking at redundancy. We're going to be looking at failover. We're going to be looking at other types of operational safeguards and gates that enable us to keep operating at the highest level, no matter if we have a failure in a particular area. So we want to bake resiliency into our operational and functional model and into all of our operating areas. We want to look at how we can harness resiliency to basically enable upside, right? Is that something we can charge premium prices for with regard to our portfolio? Is that something we can leverage from an increase in a maturity model to show that we are operating at a higher standard and then thus attracting higher level customers and clients and partners? Will it enable us to create and innovate and offer new product and or service offerings? And just as important, will it limit our downside risks or monetary exposure in some way, shape, or form? And lastly, will it allow us to publicize, if you will, create, design, field some type of service differentiation built on this resiliency factor? So again, we're looking at right mindset and right action in this resiliency area, because it's both cultural as well as being operational. And so we need to look at resiliency through the lens of adaptability and transformation, because it is a different way of thinking, right? If we look at resiliency, what we're really trying to do is ensure that we're playing offense and having that be our best defense, because we're operating at a higher level based on high availability, redundancy, etc. Right? And so we term that as far as a mindset or a cultural shift that enables us to operate given failures of some way, shape, or form, technologically, process, people, and or organizationally, right? So we want to bake resiliency into our organizations, our products, our services, and our relationships with our clients and our customers and our partners, as well as those internally. So we need to take a holistic view of resiliency that and now allows us to be more adaptable and flexible in the way that we go about operating our business, as well as executing against our customer and our client requirements. So adaptability really is how flexible are we, how quick are we to the table to recover based on things that we're learning from our data, from our intelligence, from our analysis, or from some external or internal event. And we want to change from having to fight fires to this deeper examination of the opportunity space. Then we have transformation. So transformation is about, again, looking at it differently. How can we take that problem? How can we take that challenge? And how can we turn it into an opportunity? If we're experiencing it, our organization's experiencing it, it's likely that someone else is too. So how can we package that? How can we solve that? How can we package it? And how can we make that of value to others so that others can learn from our journey and we turn that issue into a profit-making opportunity? And we want to optimize as much as possible. Next is, what is the opportunity space here? And so you see before you an organizational resilience framework and all the components that are contained within that. Right? What we really want to do is have an eye on sustainability. Resiliency gives us the opportunity to have continuity in our operations, in our processes, in our organizational structure, in our delivery of product and services, and in our pipeline and our people aspects. So sustainability, continuity, resiliency, key factors right across that people, process, technology triad that we want you to take into consideration as you're fleshing out your strategic vision and your mission and your initiatives. We also want to look at financial and operational continuity, right? Again, we want to turn that risk, turn that actualized risk into an opportunity and therefore a profit generator in some way, shape, or form. So that could look like thought leadership, that could look like intellectual property, that could look like a new product or service, that could look like holding a conference or making an event around the construct or concept that caused you as an organization to take a resiliency dip. What was it? What did you do? How can you package that in such a way so that others don't have to repeat that same outcome, and so that everybody could exponentially grow out of that? And then again, that's plants the seed for holistic transformation. So if not only you, but multiple other organizations and leaders around the globe are having issues or challenges around resiliency in a certain area, then that heightens the conversation to the place where we can get other partner organizations involved to, within the ecosystem, to put in place, again, products and services, intellectual property, new technologies, etc., new cultural methodologies, new maturity models to help us move through this in a transformation standpoint, so that, again, we're not all repeating that same challenge space, that we're able to either leapfrog or plan and operate our way through that successfully. Again, we're looking for a holistically balanced overview and strategic implementation of resiliency. And so we need to make sure it's comprehensive and integrated across all of our operating facets. We need to make sure that it's proactive and multidimensional. Again, it's not just about one part of the organization, one product, one service, one customer, one client, one partner, or external versus internal. It's all of those. So we need to understand resiliency from a fully factored view of that. And it's needs to take into consideration, again, the technological and human, as well as the process related resiliency safeguards we can put into place. And then we need to think about ourselves, as our organizations and our leaders, as how do we adapt quicker and innovate faster in order to learn the lesson and glean the intelligence that we need to turn that into a leapfrogging event for ourselves and our organizations. I hope that you got value out of tonight's session on resiliencies. There are 3 ways to continue the conversation: a VIP workshop, coaching, or consulting, because we want you and your business to thrive. We invite you to book a consult today at www.gblinnovstratllc.com. Again, I'm Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, and we welcome you to have a conversation with us about how we can help you with your strategic vision and your implementation so that you could go further and faster, because we truly want you and your business to thrive.